Slade has Munchausen by Housewives.
Put that with next to Yolanda and an almond.
Slade is on the show through Gretchen, and he feels he's the star.
Slade Smiley, lazy ass mother effer. Like he's always been writing the coattails of women. I said he's like Jax Taylor. He is a gold digger.
You are a 17-year unemployed baby daddy trying to three-peat your way onto a woman's show where you've never been a cast member or paid to be on.
Thank you.
Slade thinks he's the number one guy in the group.
We gonna stir it up and do things our way. So if you wanna move, get out of our way.
Hey.
Happy Monday, everybody. Or should we say howdy, everybody?
It was. We did. If you don't know what we're here for, it's Orange County. And yeah, we got a hoedown. We got a hoedown.
We got a hoedown for sure.
Yeah. To welcome you guys to the Coda de Caso podcast. It's pretty corrupt, and we're here to discuss RHOC.
Do. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm a little delirious. This is a very busy weekend. So
yeah, we're dead inside, but we're still here.
Yes, we're still here. Yes, we're here.
You know what will keep us here? Subscribing. Just want to throw that out. Hit that button, share.
Please make a comment. Tell us how much you love us or hate us. I don't care. Whatever.
Yeah, just as long. All attention's good attention.
Just feed that Pac-Man of the algorithm, the never-ending, bottomless pit.
We're pathetic little gremlins who live off the crumbs of your clicks. Feed us, feed us.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah. Well, on that note, let's criticize some wealthy people.
Or let's use the term wealthy very loosely.
I know, yeah. Well, I guess we should just dive right into it.
Actually, right before we do, I think we got a little taste that it looks like they filmed the reunion on Thursday, October 9th. So they have filmed the reunion. So that should be coming up in a couple of weeks because we got the preview at the end of this for the Amsterdam trip, which is the trip.
So that makes sense. Reunion's filmed. Saw the seating chart. Bravo posted it. It's not a secret.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, yeah. But I really actually question the directors and the story editors for the direction this season, because the way that they have set a lot of things up, I think, has been not great storytelling, in my opinion. This is just a very technical thing because they give us a taste of the meeting with between Katie and Tamra, and then they go back 24 hours.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you doing that? I actually don't understand. There wasn't a good reason to do any of that.
Yeah. I like when they do that, when they do it on Beverly Hills, it opens with something really ominous, then wind back. But they didn't do it. You're right. It wasn't the same structure. It wasn't the final moment of the episode. Because also changing.
Look, Real Housewives of Potomac, they did exactly what we were hoping that they would do when it came to Karen Huger getting out of jail. They did Karen Huger getting out of jail and all of that stuff, and then they flash back to 6 months earlier, you know, and they do that, and that's what we were hoping would happen, and that's what happened. We don't have time to get into the Wendy and Eddie Osefo of it all that it just came out the day before we were recording this, but I think we have to talk about that on Wednesday's Bravo Breakdown or Thursday's Bravo Breakdown. But so we will have a Bravo Breakdown this week. So make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so that that just pops up for you. But
well, we're speaking about prisoners here in the beginning because Emily, another thing we were saying with the storytelling, things just pop up and disappear. They make it seem like Emily's been working. We've seen her do this other seasons, the Innocence Project or the Innocence Center.
Innocence Center, yeah. That's different from the project.
The one thing that was just like screaming to me when it opens with this is Emily's working to get people wrongfully accused and wrongfully convicted by the legal system out of jail or helping them the bulk of her season and her argument has been that lie detectors are accurate.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Abso-freaking-lutely. Yeah. And there's more stuff I could say about her, but we try not to get political on this thing too. But like, there's, but I'm just like, girl, like, she's not. We've been talking about this like off camera. It's like, what storylines does she bring? And I do have the argument that I feel that some years, some housewives are going to have more storyline and others won't. And then there has to be a balance. Like you can't have like all of the housewives have these major storylines. You just can't. You have to have a balance of it. But Gina and Emily barely have storylines, period. They're like really grasping at straws all the time.
Emily, I don't think, well, it comes up later, but this episode, when Emily in this meeting with, when she has them over to her house, the people she's helping, and she's then relating this back to her son Luke, a child with disabilities. I'm like, oh my God, your storyline is not for this show. It's just she's trying to come up with things to make you feel sympathetic or involved in her life because there's not a lot going on.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, same could be said with Shannon and Archie. I mean, it's just.
But that's when I go, Shannon was most of last season. Mm-hmm. So I get her having not much this season. So you hope that like next season she is more involved and she has more next season. So I'm okay with Shannon just being Shannon and Archie, and awkward Shannon. So I'm okay with that. This season, because I think Tamra and Gretchen are enough. Anyway, speaking of Gretchen, we saw Laura Ingalls Rossi, from her little house on the 405 outfit this time. I was like, again, she wears a costume. She wears a costume to things. And then I have one of my good friends and PCP listeners and coworkers is in town from Buffalo. Hi, Alexa. When she listens to this, she said, why does she look, she does her makeup like a drag queen? I was like, yeah, actually, this is what like I would see on Trixie Mattel. I was like, this, like, especially like the Jean-Benet Rossi outfit. I was like, this is perfect.
The hair looks like a wig at sometimes. It's a very Southern pageant.
Yes.
And it's a lot. It's especially in her confessional look.
Well, it's also a hyper feminized like look of like an idealized look of like femininity and like what a woman is supposed to look like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed, perfect. This is what like perfectly coiffed, perfect makeup, perfect outfit type of thing. That's what like Trixie Mattel does. Like that's you know what I mean? And that's what also like a lot of drag queens do. It's this perfected feminization. But that's literally like what Gretchen's doing. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Anyway, that's with me. But anyway,
Emily and Gretchen get into it though. This is what I do. Yeah. Emily and Gretchen are, first of all, if I hear Gretchers, I'm going to light myself on fire. I'm going to light, and it feels.
Break out the lighter fluid, Jordan, because it's not going to stop.
Yeah, it feels like, I don't know if they have an agreement to kind of have an alliance or went into this, because Gretchen has been off this show for so long. They need to find a place for her in the cast to make it. It's just not like she dropped in to fight with Tamra. So I think Emily's laying on really thick that they're friends with this whole Gretcher's routine. But at least, though, they're not an alliance like Jen Pedranti and Gretchen. Yeah. Two dumb bitches telling each other exactly. Never. They just like are an echo chamber. Because here in this scene, they get into it, Emily and Gretchen.
Mm-hmm. They do. They do get into it. Because Emily tells her you are what she said actually at Heather's. You are exactly like Tamra. You guys do the same thing. You pull out your phones, you pull out the past, you do all this stuff, and it goes nowhere. And that is not what Gretchen wanted to hear whatsoever. And I was proud of Emily for doing that.
Yeah, when she was like, what? Gretchen's reaching for her phone. You don't understand. And I was like, what is it? An article? A podcast from 2013? Like, what in your file?
Also, Gretchen is there trying to, and I'm going to use the term gaslight again because this is appropriate, because we do, like, because the term gaslighting is used way too much and inappropriately. But what Gretchen is doing is truly gaslighting, because she is trying to tell Heather and Emily that she did not do what they are saying that she did. Like, she's trying to say that Emily and Heather, and it was only Slade that brought up the sex stuff. When it was like, no, Gretchen, you brought up the sex stuff. It is on camera that you're the one who, like, when they asked about, like, wait a minute, Tamra had a song, like, oh yeah, like, when did she record that song? Oh yeah, when she effed that guy. And they're like, what? You're the one who started this all. And you're trying to say something else and something different and paint this whole picture differently. I mean, it's all this stuff, and it's just like, stop it.
Gretchen took it a step farther with the gaslighting this time and tried to blame Emily for Slade saying it.
Right?
Right?
Because it's never Slade's fault. Everybody's against Slade. Everybody's against Gretchen. Poor Slade.
Originally, it was that Slade is separate from me. If Slade said it, that's not my fault. Now, in that moment when she's getting frustrated, her 2007 Starcasm articles aren't working. No one wants to hear about. She's like, well, she literally told Emily it's her fault that Slade said it. And I was like, oh, it's them against the world. Really, really sad.
Yeah. But Emily walks out in a huff. But then we find out later that Emily actually walked back in. And they made up and everything's peachy keen. And you're like, I don't know. But at the same time, at the quote unquote same time, even though it was different, because anyway, Tamra is meeting with Gina and Heather at Las Brisas, which Las Brisas is a Laguna Beach institution. Definitely. That's a place that's been around for many, many years. And that is Laguna Beach. Like, if you want to go to like an old school Laguna Beach restaurant, Las Brisas. Good choice. Good choice there for sure. What you call it? But Gina's definitely being all nice to Tamra and being like, I'm recognizing that this is just like the year that you cried in the bushes, which I still don't remember what she was like so upset about.
We've seen a few Bush issues. We've seen this one, okay, or not just Bush, but I mean, there's been her running off. There's her hiding in the bushes. There's a gif of it. And it also kind of blends in with Luann in the fetal position when she's drunk in the shrubs. So all those kind of...
Well, but Luann just fell into the bushes. That was more like a drunk Luann falling in the bushes versus Tamra being like having a mental breakdown.
Oh, but I'm going through like my photographic memory of Bravo memes, Bravo moments, and I'm like, oh wait, pull the Luann one from the mental Tamra file. I have it all organized somewhere.
Yeah.
But I mean, Gina does, because Tamra's upset too, because obviously people don't agree with her, which is the same side as Gretchen. Gretchen's doing the same thing, but Gina says, I like how Gina does it. She's like, don't take this out on me, Emily, or Heather. Heather loves you. She defends you even when you're wrong. But then she goes, but Shannon, Gretchen, yeah. They hate you. Feel free.
The rest of them, you can throw them.
Yeah, she's not like, no, we're all here for you. She's like, no, at this table, we're here from you. The others do hate you. In case you had any questions about Shannon and Tamra, go for her. Like,
yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well then, and then once Heather gets there, she tries to explain herself again about the not trusting her. And the only part that I give, because I'm on Heather's side about this, but the only thing that I give Tamra a pass about, and I can understand, is that she's angry about Tamra. I mean, sorry, about Heather and Emily saying that to Gretchen.
mm-hmm.
Since Gretchen is her enemy, mortal enemy is what I'll say, because that just gives Gretchen more fuel. And so I can understand that, you know, but Tamra's unwilling to parse it out. She's unwilling to say, okay, I see where you're coming from, Heather, and that maybe I need to build that type of trust with you, even though it hurts me that you're saying that and that you feel that way. But I am upset that you said it to Gretchen. If you said it to Shannon, if you said it to Gina, if you said it to, like, you know, Terry, I don't care. But you said it to Gretchen. You said it to somebody that I hate and who hates me.
Yeah,
that's what I have.
Going to be weaponized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the only thing I kind of give her about, because otherwise she's just so defensive. I just don't feel like she can, like. It's also this thing of like, oh, poor me that this is all happening to me. I can't, you need to be 100. It's that whole like 100% loyalty thing that I hate, of like, you have to be completely on my side or you're my mortal enemy. And I was, stop making the people who actually are on your side your mortal enemy now. Like, cause they're not. Like Gina and Heather are not the same as Gretchen.
Yeah. It's all out. I think it's all out war with, well, we know it's all out war with Gretchen and Tamra, so there's no gray area. You're either on one side or the other, and they're both holding each other to that.
Yeah,
or holding their sides to it. What else did we get? We had the dog psychic. This is what, see, is this what you have to offer, Jen Pedranti, a dog psychic? I mean, one thing,
we're not getting the wedding on camera.
Yeah. I mean, do we even know? She slips in the after show and calls him her husband. But then last episode, she decided she's not marrying him for now. What is her life? But this psychic, blah, blah. Funny thing, though, was Archie, the psychic, receives a message from Archie that he'd like a brother. But the way she's describing him, I was so confused and I had to rewind, because she said someone established. And what she meant,
a gentlemanly dog.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I thought
a dog with means.
Yeah, I was like this. I thought maybe, I was like, okay, I guess what she meant is a dog of like similar age, not a puppy. But how I took it was, and I had to rewind to make sure I didn't miss something, was that what Archie's wish is for Shannon to find an older, wealthy man. Someone established. What a weird phrase.
Oh man,
like,
I think Shannon still kind of got a puppy, like,
yeah.
when she got, like, I think she still got like a younger dog when she got Archie a friend, but
yeah,
whatever, a brother. But anyway, that was like lighthearted and fun, but I was like, okay,
yeah, it was
fine,
transitional.
Exactly.
We like our psychics with an e-cig. I wish
an e-cig and an alcohol problem.
I wish the psychic turned to Shannon and said, Archie said, a new puppy will never emotionally fulfill you.
Oh, that would have been brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant, I tell you. Oh
we
my gosh.
Then so it goes to, and this is weird, because this is normally the meetup. The meetup between Katie and Tamra would normally be the end of the episode. That would be everything built up. So I was actually grateful that they just threw it in like a regular. You get that little scene of Tamra walking, heels to the ground, dramatic. But it wasn't like one of those where, say, LVP's waiting at the table and someone who's wronged her arrives. This was, they worked it in we didn't have to spend 3 hours on it.
Well, because it also wasn't that it wasn't that it wasn't that much of a bombshell type of scene, because truly this is where I go into this storytelling of this entire season. I kind of question, because it really was a rehashing. It was just Katie telling Tamra in person what we, the audience, already knew. Because this had already been said in confessionals, in the scene with Katie and Matt. And also just briefly in the lie detector scene, with Katie saying Matt, da, 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 da. So it would have been more of a bombshell type of scene if we hadn't had the scene with Katie and Matt. And we had this scene between Tamra and Katie, and then we intercut it with Matt and Katie talking, and then we could see the text messages and stuff like that. That would have been a little bit more of like, whoa, wait a minute. I do wonder, and this is where I give production this, wondering if they wanted to take the heat off of Katie a little bit, because they were kind of afraid, or they were getting the feeling that people were like, although the episodes are locked early on. So, but they were like, well, maybe Katie will get too much hate if they think that she is this bad. So we want to leave some room for questionability early on.
I was wondering, in her absence from the show, because she is a housewife, and like a housewife, she's not a friend of who can just be dismissed episode or called in episode by episode. If they were filming some of her life in the episode, you know what I mean? Doing separate filming around, because we did see a little bit of her with Matt. And maybe they just cut it out, because without the interactions with the women, it's probably just her at home staring at her phone, whatever, trying to figure
waiting
out.
to see if that deposit came in.
Yeah. So I'm like, I have a feeling though, because she would be locked in full time. Maybe they film things about her lot, just away from the women, but that doesn't really. We complain about stuff like that. I do. So I'm glad they just brought her back when it was relevant.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the only thing kind of new was when Tamra asked about Slade calling Matt, the whole thing that Slade told Matt that she basically needs to keep her mouth shut because it's a legal issue. That was something I don't remember hearing from before. That was the only kind of new thing, but I was like, I just can see how this could have been a more interesting scene, and how this could have been built up more interestingly for me, as an audience member and as an editor.
It was short, and it was it was given to us like a transitional scene.
There was no climax. There was no big revelation or dun dun dun. So it was like, wait, that's it? There's nothing new? What?
This though did remind me, and it's going to keep building in this episode, when she's talking about Slade calling Matt to control, to do all that. I keep thinking, and it's only going to get worse this episode, I think of Jax Taylor in this last season of The Valley, where he's monitoring filming even though he's not part of the show, and he's making threats to people. It's trying to control things, trying to control Brittany.
Ooh,
off
yeah.
camera. Yeah. And it gets worse.
Yeah.
It's an icky feeling. Towards the end of the episode, I was like, it was when Katie, wait, what was it? And it's actually from the after show, where Katie talks about how the way Slade would call Matt and have both of the women on speakerphone, because and Slade alludes to it, we'll get into it later, how the men need to control the women.
Or when she would call Gretchen, and Gretchen would have her on speakerphone, but Slade would be talking in, and she was like, I thought I was just gonna have a conversation with Gretchen. I didn't realize this is he was on there, and and also how Matt was Slade was blowing up Matt's phone, and then nothing. Now it's dropped like a hot potato. I don't give a flying fuck about you.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Slade really I mean, and that's where it reminds me of Jax too. It's his show. Slade thinks it's his show. Remember, he technically was an OG, and he's determined to like reclaim this show.
Completely.
Yeah.
I've been saying it since the minute one when I knew Gretchen was coming back. I was like, fucking Slade Smiley. And people are like, why are you hating on Slade? This is why I'm hating on Slade. Everything about this.
Yeah.
I'm hating on Slade. I mean, and more. Not paying your child support. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's move on for that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a montage of like how many shoes does Gina have? How can you afford that to rent that house if you have that many shoes, Gina? I don't know. Anyway,
yeah. And by the way, I thought the townhouse that there was the casita, everyone makes fun of. Then she had that like townhouse, which she bought.
Okay,
she bought that. It wasn't super. It was like, I think 600 something, which in California terms is not very much. Orange County terms is not very much. And I think I praised her a couple seasons ago, being like, she's smart because the money won't last forever. She's not overspending. Yet she moves to a rental for, I'm guessing, filming, which is like, I'm like, okay, so maybe you are kind of getting caught up in the Housewives lifestyle. But if they are realtors, there's a chance they could, like, sometimes Mauricio on Beverly Hills, maybe not now, but you know, with these real estate people, they can pull strings to get you lent something for the show, for parties mostly, maybe not to live in necessarily, but I just like, I don't know if she made a trade like as a house.
Maybe though, you never know. You never know.
It's just not a good sign when a housewife goes from something she owns to something bigger that she rents. She's getting caught up.
That's the Housewives MO, though.
Yeah.
Well, then we see Heather's her Trevor Project fundraiser, which is like, it's a modest fundraiser, but I think it's nice, you know.
They gave $50,000. That was good.
I think they gave more than what Emily's fundraiser raised.
Yeah, in a single check. That's how the Dubrows roll.
Yep. Though I'm not surprised that Gina was very worried that she was going to get out Dubrowed when she and Travis gave that $5,000 at Emily's.
Like, it was so charitable of I was going to call them the Terrys. It was so charitable of Terry to only match. Only match Gina's, because let's be real, a pair of shoes that Heather wears, I mean, she could.
Well, look, they just donated $50,000 to the Trevor Projects.
Yeah. One funny thing about that, though, is I kept thinking, I mean, it's a good cause, all that, it's great, but it's like, cookies? Do you think Heather Dubrow developed a cookie? Would you trust a skinny chef? Have you ever seen her eat a cookie?
Exactly. Well, and then Emily she talks more about the Innocent Center, and she has, some, and I'm going to call them victims of the quote unquote justice system,
these people.
Yeah, they come and they tell their stories to her and to the camera, which I think was really good. However, Emily still tries to make it about herself.
Circles it right back. And by the way, that got me, because what she's doing is very good and very compassionate.
Yeah.
But when she's crying to them about her issues in her McMansion in a gated community, and is talking about how I'm a lawyer, but I choose not to practice anymore. Yeah, you're so relatable to these guys sitting in front of you. Yeah. Asking them, she was like, are they supposed to get up and comfort Emily in this situation?
Right? Yeah. Oh, this man who only got to hold his daughter for the first time at the age of 3, like, then he's supposed to be feeling for this woman whose son has his own bedroom. Like, yes. Does the son have going through some problems? Yes. I'm not minimizing that at all. What I'm minimizing is Emily's and what she has done throughout the season, her magnifying these things to make it a storyline for herself is what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because what these men have gone through are real problems, like real big problems. Now, granted, all of our problems are, we only know what we go through. But at the same time, if Emily's working through the Innocence Center, she's seeing, that is a perspective that she should be seeing like day in and day out. So she should be able to go, in my opinion, what's going on with my son right now is really hard, and we're going to figure a way out of it, but I don't need to blow this up and make it a crisis in my life, because I have seen lists of people and like how many people really are put away, you know, who are innocent.
And Emily didn't come from money. She talks about her tough
Right.
childhood. So she should be able to relate a little bit more to these guys than equating it to, like you said, her son. And I have to juggle. I have individual therapists for each of my child. Sometimes I have to hire a driver to take them to their separate soccer practices. I'm like, I don't know. It was just...
Money's a powerful drug, though.
Yeah.
Money is a powerful drug. Makes you forget a lot of things.
I guess if Shane Simpson's parents want to support me too, I'd leave it all behind and just forget.
Yeah, listen to that, Perry.
I like Perry. She pops up later, and I literally had put in my notes what happened, because I know Shane's dad had been ill and stuff, and I was hoping Perry wasn't either, because that was the most, to me, when Emily joined, Perry was, we all love a runaway star of a mom, a breakout star of a mom.
Dale.
And Perry lit up a room. She was so fun. And then she just disappeared. So I'm glad to see she's back and she's well.
Yeah, ditto.
And we'll probably be friends in no time. You guys know how.
You'll be complete friends. Complete friends. And, well, let's get to the big fundraiser party, which brings on the fight and whatever. I will say, you know, the Texan in me kind of comes out, where I was like, I don't hate this theme of like country western hoedown, also because it's kind of an easy theme, and people don't look too bad. They don't dress up like there's different variations of it, and I actually think most of the people looked pretty good. I'm gonna say I didn't like Gretchen's outfit just because she was like I'm Sparkle Western Barbie. Like I just was like, whereas I thought all the women actually looked really well, really good in kind of different ways. They took it on in different ways, and I think it's fun. Although I will say this, two-stepping, you can't pay me to two-step. I'd rather light myself on fire than two-step.
I did laugh when Shannon was getting ready, because I had to think of where I knew this term. She was on the phone with her daughter, and she's like, I think I'm going to wear this duster. I was like, what this duster? I'm like, is that like a long sweater? And there's like duster. It took me straight back to Lisa Rinna's QVC days. That was her signature product. I only know what a duster is from Lisa Rinna being on QVC. Like, oh, I haven't heard that phrase in a decade.
Yep. I like how Adeline was like, it's quite extra. She's like, well, that's what I'm going for. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's true. Like it is, you right. It is a theme that you could wear. I could figure something out to wear. You just jeans, a shirt, and throw on a hat. So
yeah, exactly. Like you can do it. I mean, I always will have a pair of cowboy boots. I've had the same pair of cowboy boots for like 20 years. I just get them resold. So like, yeah, like it's always a good one. And you can dress it up and you can dress it down. And I liked Shannon's duster, actually. It was extra, but it also had like turquoise and stuff. Whereas like the reason I didn't like Gretchen's was like she had it looked cheap is actually why. She had like her fake Chanel C's. I was like, well, that's not very wet. Like if she'd had like a turquoise necklace on, but she also went with like this like lace bustier, like let me be like country, like whatever. Again, it was a costume. It was a costume. And I just was like, No.
I don't think Tamra was even lying in the beginning of the season or whenever Gretchen arrives, where she calls her like Timu Barbie. I think it was New Orleans. I really think her clothes do come from like Timu and stuff. Their costumes. These aren't.
Well, they're costing more now because.
Yeah.
Yep.
Once we get with the part, okay, this is the prep for the event though. Gretchen and Slade, and this is where again the ickiness about Slade builds up. And I also wanted to like laugh. I wish I had a drink so I could have spat it out. It's just when they're getting ready and Slade, they're like, is Eddie going to be there? And then Slade's like, because us guys, we don't respect Eddie because he just lets Tamra do whatever. And I was like, you are a 17-year unemployed baby daddy trying to three-peat your way onto a woman's show where you've never been a cast member or paid to be on. But
Thank you. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I also was like, but wait till you hear what they say about you, Slade.
Yeah, I was like, I love that. Us guys. Do you think Terry Dubrow respects Slade Smiley?
No, not at all. Not at all. Terry Dubrow, look. Terry Dubrow is a fame whore, but at least he works hard for that fame. Like, look at him, like trying every which way to get another television show, pushing his wife to be on Housewives. He's trying to get on every podcast. That man is a hustler. Like, just like Lisa Rinna, he's a hustler. Like, I am all about that. The Dubrows work hard for their money. Like, they got it. Not saying that they didn't have a leg up. You know what I mean? But Slade Smiley, lazy ass mother effer. Like he's always been riding the coattails of women. I said he's like Jax Taylor. He is a gold digger. That man is a gold. I've said it before. He is a gold digger. So
yeah, literally. I mean, no, no one respects him. Would Jen Pedranti really respect Slade? Why is she with Ryan? Because he provides housing, a car, literally housing for her kids, a car, income she doesn't have. Do you think all the guys around there? Slade's like the ringleader. He's the Fonzie. He's the number one guy. Slade thinks he's the number one guy in the group. We should get Slade on this show. I have a few words for him.
I'm sure he would love it. I mean, any chance. Oh man.
So then party time.
Yep. Shannon's very quick under her breath to call out Tamara's hypocrisy about quitting again. She's like, oh, I thought she quit. Now she here.
Do you think this still stems from the Joel situation? Because she was put on blast for being unprofessional and miserable with filming.
I mean, maybe.
She's quick to point out, like, she quit again, and they say I'm unprofessional. That's been like,
maybe, yeah, maybe.
It's kind of like Shannon has the Joel situation the way Heather has the paparazzi situation. They are just going to point out at every turn, like, it's not me.
I agree with that. Yeah. Who was it that asked Tamra why she finally decided why she's now believing Katie after Katie, like, is the one who spilled the beans about this?
Was it Emily?
Maybe it was Emily. Because look, I also get the other women being like, I don't understand why you're going and speaking to this woman who took a rumor that was said in confidence, and I'm using that loosely because I do believe that Gretchen and Slade told Jen and Katie, believing that they would tell the other women, that it would somehow get disseminated out there. But I don't believe that they would think that it would get disseminated out to a podcaster or a blogger or a journalist, reality television journalist. So I do believe that that's true. And so, yeah, like I do kind of go, why didn't you run to them with this information? However, I do kind of, I don't know if I believe Tamra when she goes that she realizes that Jen and Gretchen set Katie up. I'm kind of 50-50. I'm not sure or if she just really just hates Gretchen that much that she's just like, I'm the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Do you think, okay, did Tamra with the setting saying that Jen and Gretchen set her up, I'm trying to remember, was that said in the after show or in the main show?
It was said during the main show because I made a note.
Oh, okay.
This is where it is in my notes.
Because I was like, well, she said it in the after show because we watched both. I was like, that's been
Mhm.
something out there in social media. And in the after show, they've had time to watch and kind of gauge what people are. I thought, Tamara was always online. So
Yeah.
maybe she picked that up from the comments or something.
Yeah.
I was wrong. But yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I feel
it's always for the story. It's serving the purpose of the story.
Right. And I feel like Tamra was trying to get information from Katie and more confirmation. It wasn't like she was looking to guidance or looking for guidance or an ally, but because the thing that makes me think, it sketches me out about Emily, we said it last episode, is her like panic about Tamra talking to Katie. And I don't think she realizes her panic only tells Tamra she definitely needs to talk to Katie. Because it's not like, it's like, don't speak to her at all. Don't speak to her at all. Look over here. You don't need to go talk to Katie. Come with me. She said, so Emily should be relieved because Katie didn't throw her in that mix. But I think that's what Emily was afraid of.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, speaking of Emily, runs and tells Gretchers that Tamra met with Katie. And, that's, it's, and then like Jen tells Gretchen what Tamra said about Katie in the meeting. And that basically was like Slade, Slade's been behind, talking to Matt and saying, I mean, I feel that was also just one part of like what they talked about. That's like, I feel like, Katie confirmed that this is what was said, but now like Slade has been the part of like trying to cover it up. And also, the cover up is worse than the crime. Sorry.
I also want to say too, I don't think Matt Ginella is a saint. I think his hands are completely dirty. Like completely.
I like Matt Ginella because he I think can be, because we all know, if you've been listening long enough, you know that I love like a New Jersey style house husband. I love a New Jersey style house. Like I like a little dirty, but like there for his woman, like standing up for her, like right or wrong, whatever. That's why I kind of like Eddie too. Like he loves Tamra. He stands up for her right or wrong, but he also tells her what's up. You know what I mean? So Matt Ginella, he's there for his woman, stands up for her. But he also gets just a tiny bit involved in it. Like, yeah. I'm fine with that. I don't like a Slade Smiley. Like, I don't like the men who get so involved, who take it on so much. Like, I like Terry Dubrow. He's a tiny bit messy. I'm fine with that. Just be there, like whatever.
Slade isn't supporting Gretchen. Gretchen is his proxy on the show.
Exactly.
Slade is on the show through Gretchen, and he feels he's the star.
Right. Because like Slade, well, like Joe Gorga, like I don't really like Joe Gorga very much because he thinks that he's like the house husband on the show. Now, granted, there's a different dynamic on New Jersey because it's a family thing. And like, granted, Teresa's his sister, so that's a little different. But there'd be times I'd be like, you need to step back, buddy. You need to step back and let Melissa like own this thing. But he's not as bad, in my opinion. That's my opinion. About like than Slade. Slade is a completely different animal, but a similar thing of like, just let the lady. We came to watch the ladies. We want a lady fight.
Slade has Munchausen by Housewives. He can't be a housewife, so he is. Yeah.
Oh, put that with next to Yolanda and an almond.
Yeah. He's a, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Oh, did you?
That's the promo. That's the promo right there.
I was going to say too. Did you catch when Gretchen finds out about Slade? I'm sorry.
Oh
When
yeah.
Gretchen finds out. I'm sorry. When Gretchen finds out that Tamra spoke to Katie, do you see Gretchen's reaction? Because she's a little shocked. She looks off camera, I think maybe to Slade, maybe to a producer. But what it told me was she wasn't prepared for this. And she was like, why wasn't I prepared for this? Because she has Slade texting producers, she has other castmates butting up. And when Tamra told Jen, yeah, I spoke to Katie, but I don't feel comfortable discussing it with you because of your friendship with Gretchen. What she meant was Gretchen wasn't there yet. Jen then couldn't have Ryan text Slade to let him know what they were walking into. And I saw that in Gretchen's eyes when she looked off camera, like, I've been set up, or, yeah.
Because also she didn't give Emily any information for Emily to like pass on, or Heather, because also like Tamra, I will give Tamra some props. She stayed away from Gretchen and Slade. She was like, I'm not going to have a massive blow up and do what I did at the self-defense thing at this charity event. She because she embarrassed herself there. No lie, she embarrassed herself there. But she was like, I will let Gretchen. And Gretchen did embarrass herself at that party. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Because then when she finds out, when Gretchen finds out that, oh, a lot of the talk was about Slade, Gretchen's like, well, we're going to go talk to her. Like, and I'm going to have Slade go and talk to Tamra. And I was just like, oh, Lord. I mean, even Shannon said, don't do that. Like when you have Shannon say, don't go with Slade, don't send Slade, you know, please don't.
Yeah. I mean, Shannon, who's not exactly on Tamra's side, was like, no.
Exactly.
It's not gonna end well.
And when they come around and they're like, hi, I'm not, no lie, I would be like, excuse me? Like, that's not a like, hi. No. Hi.
It was the same way as at the hot pot where she's like, I said she reminded me of a T-Rex. She stuck her face in the table and was like, it's not the same. Like, it's a little Jack Nicholson-y, a little horror movie. And then, yeah. And by the way, Gretchen was drunk. I could tell by her speech pattern. She does completely change. Yeah.
She'd had that fireball.
Her speech pattern changed. It was slurrier. It was different.
I mean, like, I wouldn't be surprised if Tamra and Eddie had a plan that they were like not going to drink at the party, that they were not going to talk to Gretchen and Slade, that they were going to keep their cool. And so when that happened, because I guess also what we found out in the after show is that Tamra and Eddie were saying their goodbyes. They were leaving anyway. So they were saying goodbye to Emily when Gretchen and Slade came up. And Emily feels that it was aggressive, and because also she couldn't see them. I don't know whether Tamra and Eddie could see them, but I get it that if Tamra is somebody who keeps running away all season long, you might feel that like she's running away. I get that, but I don't mind Eddie flipping them off, to be honest with you. But with Gretchen yelling after them, "Run, bitch, run for your life, bitch!" at charity, I was like, ew. So when Tamra called her trash, which I'm not a big fan of, like, I was like, that was trashy.
Tamra, I think you're right about Tamra and Eddie having an agreement, because suddenly, like we said, she went from flipping people off and screaming to, did you hear the way she said she's trash? It was a controlled voice. It was very like suddenly she was like, I'm going to be classy tonight. That's what it was. Like she kind of sneered at her and was like, oh, they're such trash. Like pearl clutching. That's what it was. But
Yeah.
also why I think Tamara probably had that pact with Eddie to leave and not engage is Slade in particular is only relevant if Tamara makes him relevant. She was refusing to give them their moment. Slade, yes, Slade wants that moment more than even Gretchen. That's why Gretchen brought Slade over against everybody's wishes. And Tamara knew, if I don't give it to him, because if they get into a fight, who knows? Maybe they could be back next season. She's kind of depriving them of the oxygen to become full-time cast members.
And that's again why Tamra, like her or love her, you have to recognize that game has to recognize game when it comes to Tamra. She's recognizing that. Yeah. Deprive that flame of oxygen, it goes out.
Yeah. She's especially as we get towards the end of the season, because we're in the final stretches now. She's like, okay, let's wrap this up. We got co-producing. I mean, I wonder if she's thinking she gave them drama. They're a part of the show as a friend of, and now they'll be sent packing. What's left?
Yeah. When Gretchen, after they leave and like, because Emily goes after them and was like, and tells Gretchen like that was really aggressive. And then she goes after them and was like, that was really aggressive. And of course, at first, Tamara was like, me? And she's like, no, Gretchen and Slade, which honestly was an honest reaction. It was like, me? Because usually Tamara is the aggressive one, to be honest.
She's like, I've been on my best behavior tonight.
Can't you see my halo?
Sometimes he is a little bit like a kid, like I mean, in a funny way. Like, no, what did I do?
But actually, speaking of the little kid thing, Gretchen asks, she's like, why can Tamara say whatever she wants about Slade, but Slade can't basically do the same to Tamara? And I go, because Tamara is actually saying true things about Slade when Slade is lying about Tamara. That's the difference. Because also, like, does Tamara get very hyperbolic about things? Does she exaggerate things? Yes, she does. When it's come to Slade, she's actually told the truth. She has not lied about Slade, but he has lied about Tamara. So that's what it is. That's the problem. I mean, as far as we know, and then also the producer in Gretchen's confessional calls it out and was like, why does Slade like to get involved with the women's stuff? But Gretchen says, oh, he doesn't do that. Again, it's the women's fault that he gets pulled in. Oh yes, these horrible women have nothing better to do in their lives than to center their entire lives around somebody else's middle-aged non-husband.
Yeah.
If nothing better to do than center and around, I'm sorry, like decades old gossip and drama.
Yeah, Gretchen and Slade are kind of like frozen in time.
Completely.
Because they
just
still,
like her face.
Yeah. Like they still think they're stepping back into drama from how long has it been? Every week I change the number. I'm like
12 is the most consistent number that I'm hearing.
Let's say 12 years. Especially for Slade, who remember has been unemployed for even longer. This was their last real job. And imagine if you left a job and you never had another. So in your mind, all that office drama is still there going on without you. They're still thinking about you. Half the people are gone at this point. They forgot about you years ago, but they think they're going to walk into the office of Orange County and everyone's going to be like, Slade, remember that lunch break? No one remembers you that well. And they think all these podcasts and articles from 2012 are still relevant and people are going to pop off over it.
Half of your audience doesn't remember you on the show. Let's get real. It's you and I remember them on the show, but I also don't remember everything about it.
Right.
Too. Like I forget things. And it's fine. Like it was funny when Shannon earlier in the episode said to Gretchen that Tamara was obsessed with her. And I was like, I think it's mutual. Like, and I do think that Gretchen is more obsessed with Tamara. I'm not going to say that Tamara is not obsessed with Gretchen. I think she has quite the grudge to hold against Gretchen and Slade. But I don't think she's necessarily quote unquote obsessed. But I do think that she's willing to go to war over that woman.
With Gretchen, I think Gretchen's livelihood depends on the obsession with Tamra. Tamra doesn't
Completely.
need them. She's on the show. She is the show. So I do think she's obsessed in a defensive way, obviously keeping them at bay, but they have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and I would say that in some ways, but I don't think obsession is the right word. Tamra is using the Gretchen drama for her storyline this season. Mm-hmm. So it's useful. It's a useful, but it's not obsession, but it's a useful plot line. And so she's like, well, I will use this because in a way, the Teddy storyline is a losing storyline for her. It's useful in some ways of like gaining some sympathy, but it's not a storyline for her because also Teddy's not on the show. But Gretchen and Slade is useful. So yeah. In that way, they're both obsessed with each other for a storyline. But Gretchen is not a full-time housewife. She is trying to earn her orange back. And yes, and she needs the money.
Yeah.
For sure. Also, like at the end, she and Emily are fighting and arguing, and I don't even understand. They're arguing over each other so much. I don't even understand why Gretchen screams Slade so loud. I don't even, besides her just being drunk and trying to win it, thinking that if she yells, basically, she pulled a Tamra.
Oh.
Again, they are so alike. They are more alike than they want to admit. They could only admit it to each other for a couple of years when they were getting along. But one of the reasons that they have not liked each other is because they are so alike from day one.
Remember the Harley? I mean, that.
How could I forget the Harley? The Harley, the watches, like how blonde their hair could get, like their bodies, like how thin they could be, like everything like that. I mean, her first season, like, watch your daddies, Gretchen's, watch your husbands, Gretchen's on her way, whatever it was. God damn it, I need to look that up. But like, that's the thing is that I would have said, I probably said back in the day when she first was on, that Tamra was jealous of Gretchen because she was younger, she was hotter, she had more options, she didn't have any children, like she wasn't in a shitty marriage, all of those things, like she did have that. But I would say now, in a sense, and I'm not saying that she is, but I could see that Gretchen could be jealous of Tamra. Tamra's now basically an empty nester. She's been on the show. She has that cachet. She's not saddled with a loser, quote unquote, husband. Like she has a really good relationship that we know of with Eddie. You know what I mean? She has now the things that Gretchen thought that she would have by 49, 50. And she doesn't have them. But
in the end,
she does.
Yeah. In the end, Tamra won.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as girlish and innocent as Gretchen. How old is Gretchen now?
Gretchen is a couple of years older than me. I think she turned 50 this year.
Okay, so this is more because when she came on the show, it was the younger, and they're kind of melding into the same age group, and that little damsel vixen doesn't play. Life did not. So realizing, I thought maybe Gretchen was like 41 or something. Because I just remember her being the young one on the show. Life did not work out. She thought she would be a star.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Tamra is a star. Tamra is a household name, and Gretchen is not. So Gretchen graduated from high school with my friend's husband, and he just turned 50 this year. So, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't realize that. It's not like I thought she was. I think it's also because she has a little girl, so in my head that puts it. But realizing that, yes, she is jealous of Tamra. Tamra, in the end, won the show. When Gretchen arrived on the show, she thought, in her Harley, the Rolex, the rich old man, it was going to be her turn. And
yeah. Well, we got a preview for Amsterdam, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
So, because then I think we'll get like whatever the big bomb that gets dropped about Gretchen.
Yeah.
There's some realization about Gretchen. So, and we'll find out.
Did we see? Okay, so in the reunion seating chart, I'm trying to know because people put out together their dream teams. They're like their hypotheticals, and Bravo released the real thing. Is Gretchen on the last seat? I believe
Yes,
Gretchen
she is
last.
She is.
She's on the
she's across from.
choppiest.
She's across from Katie.
Okay. And those two seats, obviously, the farther they are, the end seats literally determines your rank. It's just not great because if she, as a friend of who has been a huge part of the drama this season, you would think she earned a higher spot. Maybe they did only like Danielle Staub or Alexis Bellino. Maybe they used her for a season, and we'll see. We have no insight on. They don't begin. And by the way, as we get towards the end, when you see casting rumors, this one's been fired. This one, it does not happen this early. Once the reunion wraps airing is when contracts start maybe getting thought about. So if you hear right now, this one's in, this one's out, on any Housewives show, it's not real.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
You know who could use a contract from Bravo, but in the meantime, we'll just settle for a little clickaroo. Just click that subscribe, that follow, that share, the repost, retweet, text links to your I was gonna say to people in prison. Recently released from prison. Unless you know Jen Shaw. Or no, Karen's out.
Karen's out, yeah.
The Ocephos.
Oh, God.
They're out on bail right now, I think. But
you know, text it to your bail bondsman. You know, share with your bail bondsman. Share it with your oh, I had one and I just lost it. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's fine. You know what we're talking about. Just share. Oh, your Harley Davidson salesperson dealer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Your boyfriend in Bass Lake.
Oh.
Burn. And on that note, wait, how do you? I was gonna say, how do you say goodbye in cowboy?
Bye, y'all.